Welcome to this week's tea break chat from obviously a very different location and a beachy look. So I am currently on vacation at my sister's house. We are at her cottage. I am trying to steal as much quiet time away from people as I can get, which might not be very much. Also, not sure how the internet's going to last. So this is basically a big experiment to see how this goes. So thanks for sticking with me. um, for those who don't know me, my name is Lindsey Hall. I'm an intimacy and empowerment coach, and I come on and do these tea break chat and Q&As every week where I talk about what's been going on in my life in the last week, lessons that I've learned, things that have come up, challenges, that kind of thing, and then I answer your questions that you guys sent me. Normally they're about 25 to 30 minutes long. I think today's is going to be shorter. Also, you might be able to hear I'm stuffed up. I've got airplane germs and then going in and out of air conditioning mean I have got this wicked cold, which is not ideal when you are in a very hot place. But we're going to give it a go. So this week, the big thing that has come up has been this trip, obviously. We have now been here for a full week, so we flew last Wednesday. It ended up being a 23-hour trip. Me and my two girls on my own. They are 3.5 and 6. Obviously, a 23-hour travel day is pretty darn long for anybody, let alone as the only adult with two little ones. And I told you guys last week that I would talk about sort of how the travel goes. And actually, the question that I got sent for this week's Q&A is basically the same. It was like, what are your tips for keeping cool when traveling with kids? So I'm just going to wrap it all up into one rather than doing like separate sections like I usually do. Because our trip was a mixed bag in terms of how it went. So last year when I flew with the girls, it was really, really stressful. Like probably the most stressed I've ever been as a parent. So this year I was like, okay, are we going to do this? And the reason it was so stressful last year is partially because my 5-year-old at the time threw up about 8 times. After we had already gotten sick 2 days before and had to book whole new flights for 2 days later. Then on the actual flights we got on, she threw up about 8 times. It was really, really hard. So this year I was like, ooh, how's this going to go? But I am the queen of preparation. So I do get stressed before these trips, but actually this year was way less stressed than usual, despite the hardness of last year, because for me it's a combination of leaning into the preparation and the practical and the actual doing, and the trust that it's going to be okay. Trust that I can handle this, the girls can handle this, like somehow we are going to get to Wisconsin and it's going to be fun and worth it, and we'll get there. So I prep for loads of things. So I make sure we have enough snacks to feed an army. We've got loads of activities to do. We never, ever do all the things that I bring with. This year I brought less things to do, less activities than I have the past 2 years. Still didn't use them all. So I did lots of prep ahead of time. But then when we get to the day, I kind of just hand it over to the travel gods, to the travel goddess, and go, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And that was really helpful this year because for the third time in 3 years, we did not get on the flight that we booked. I am 0-3 for flying to America on what I actually booked. This time, I had a great plan in terms of how we were going to get there. It avoided some of the pitfalls that we had last year where the sickness came in, avoided some of that. And all the way on the lead up to it, it was like, great, we're still on the scheduled flight. I woke up that morning. We needed to leave to the airport for about 6:30 in the morning. I woke up that morning at 5:30 to find a text saying, your flight has been delayed for 8.5 hours, which means we would now have a layover of 11 hours. Not ideal with 2 little kids. So I tried calling and tried sorting that out. Couldn't get anywhere. Got in the car to leave for the airport with the girls. Literally sitting in the driveway, car running, about to pull out. Got another text saying, now your second flight is delayed till tomorrow morning. So we were going to have to stay overnight in a hotel. Still not ideal. Not what I want to be doing. On the drive to the airport, I got a text saying, we've rebooked you onto like 5 different flights to get you there. Not ideal. Get to the airport, get a text saying, your flight's been canceled. Just straight up canceled. And through all of this, I was like, I am feeling slightly panicky, but actually all I can do is go and try and talk to somebody and get, see what we can do. So I got to the airport, The girls, I like plopped them on the floor with their coloring books and their snacks, and we spent an hour at the desk with a woman on the phone trying to get us booked onto new flights. And I just truly, truly was not panicking because somehow it was going to work out. Somehow we were going to get on a flight and go to America. And sure enough, they did. They found us a new flight from Manchester, where we were. We did end up having to run to another terminal where I was pushing 2 big suitcases. Nora was pushing Evie in the stroller. And we're trying to like sprint what would have been like a 15-minute walk at normal adult pace, you know, without all the stuff. And so we got there and I was like dripping sweat. But we got on the flight, got us to Atlanta, which is America. So it's like, okay, we've landed in America now. And basically it was the whole thing. And then we went from Atlanta to Chicago where my sister picked us up. And really the whole thing, like I said, is this combination of preparation and just trusting it's going to work. So we didn't end up with our booked gluten-free meals because we just got booked on the flight about, an hour before, but actually there was gluten-free food we could eat. In terms of how I stay so chill with it and keep my cool, because I lower my standards significantly, like to the floor. So my kids literally when the meal came out on the plane, they literally ate the chocolate pudding and a packet of butter. Like Nora unpeeled the packet of butter and took bites out of the packet of butter. Evie took the approach of unpeel it and shove the whole thing in her mouth at once. Cool. You go for it, kids. I'm not even going to try and stop you. I spent about half a second trying to stop them, and I was like, don't eat that. Okay, whatever. I let them play with whatever they want to play with. I let them watch as much TV as they want to watch because we have in-seat screens on all of them when you're flying long haul. And I really just go with, we're going to get there. Whatever keeps you happiest and whatever keeps you quiet so you're not disturbing other people, then let's go with it. At one point, Evie put red dots all over her face, and we were walking down the aisle, and people were giving her an alarmed look, and I was like, it's just stickers. The girls both ended up helping the flight attendants they were handing out popsicles on the flight, and the girls each took one aisle and helped the flight attendants pass out popsicles, ice lollies. Nora helped collect the rubbish. Like, I just really just be like, okay, go with the flow. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And eventually we got there. The transfer was smooth. I just refused to believe that we weren't going to get there and that it was going to be awful. I was a little bit nervous. So when we landed in Atlanta, because that is the airport where all the sickness started last year, so I did have a bit of like travel PTSD, which I probably shouldn't use that word because I don't want to downplay actual PTSD. But I was nervous about the whole transfer in Atlanta, but it was so smooth and easy. And I was thrilled to be wrong about that. Absolutely thrilled that I was wrong. I do love being wrong, especially when it, works out in my benefit. And then, so we got home fine. And since we've been here, just been going with the flow, chilling out. Like, they've been later bedtimes than usual, which is also probably, well, no, it's not because they cold. I've been going to bed at normal-ish time. But it's been smooth and easy. I will say I have not had, really, this is like the first kind of moment alone I've had in a week. No, not sure. I went to the grocery store yesterday by myself, so, big wins. Took me about 2 hours to go grocery shopping because I don't know all the brands. I don't know where things are. I crisscrossed this massive American grocery store more times than I can count trying to find the things I needed. It was not a pleasant experience, but it was alone time. But other than that, this is about the only time. So I could do with some downtime, and I'm going to bed early tonight. But yeah, that's kind of how our trip has gone. I feel like I don't even have my watch on because I'm like literally sitting here in my swimsuit and about to go back out to the lake. So I have no idea how long this was. It was very short this week, but like I said, my alone time is limited, and my kids are out playing in the lake, so I should get back to them. Thank you for watching the short one. I'm not even going to do my usual spiel that I do at the end of them. This is just holiday mode at its finest. Check out my website, lindseyhallcoaches.com, if you want to know anything more about working with me. I've got my Elevate 1-to-1 luxury coaching package for badass, bold, beautiful, brave women who absolutely are ready to elevate their life. Check that out on my website too. You can book a call to book your free introduction call with me if you want to go ahead and do that. that's the short version of the spiel. That's all I'm going to give today. So yeah, I will let you know if I'm doing next week's tea break chat or not. It might be that I take a break for next week, and the next one you get will be when we land back in England, because we are here for another week and a half. So it might be that I hold off for next week's. I will let you know. Watch my stories and stay tuned. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, whatever you're doing, and I'll talk to you later.